Where's
Hello
Justin?
and
Is he up?
Jade.
You say where's Justin?
Just making sure. Sorry.
We just went live. You said it just as soon as I clicked the button. It was out to talk.
Smooth sailing, everyone.
Wait, where's Justin?
Can you not hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you. Yes. Jade just
Sorry.
decided to question that at the worst moment. So, hello to people and who are watching the Dysfunctional Junction here. We're joined by our usual crew. We have a limited time frame tonight, so we're going to dive right in. Last week, our players had found the prophecy in the buyer's market after a brief sojourn into the Temple of Perfected Philosophy, which had various little shrines and doodads dedicated to numerous deities except for the Nightmare, whom they claimed they had offered invitation to, but they had declined, though Moon had noted a look of disgust on his face. But meanwhile, Moon also managed to strike a deal with a marquise of a Persian merchant within the buyer's market. In exchange for the last piece of the document, if you guys can find something like some relic related to the city's early history, he'll be able to exchange that for you. But before you've managed to find
There we go.
Okay, you managed to find reference to such a place with Volt's map, which you were informed was Blight, which was a ancient weapon used to fight off the fair folk off of the Edge of Dawn in the town's early history. But before you could go off gallivanting into a dungeon, which I surely will have meticulously designed by that point, you came across a familiar-looking mercenary who was standing outside of a carriage expectingly and looking bandaged up, less worse for wear than you left him, and looking pretty impatient. And that is where we begin.
Oh, hey, look who caught up.
I had most of my entrails being X-trails.
Made it out okay, at least.
Wait, but today's Wednesday. That's usually a Friday thing.
What?
What? It's not Wednesday.
I'm also confused. Wait. How are you the expert at this? There's something you want to tell us.
Because that's why.
Uh-huh.
Well, regardless of what you're doing, I have a place to take you. Because if I don't take you there, I don't get paid. And I better be paid after all this.
What, you don't enjoy our company?
Your company was tolerable. The problem
that's
was
probably the best thing anyone's ever said about me.
Yeah, be careful. You're going to give Razzle a swelled head.
And I will be back. My food's going to be here in 3 minutes. So.
Which is fine, because he grabs Razzle by the mouth so that he cannot talk anymore and just throws him into the carriage. Now, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
So, Moon Snow is just like flappy in midair and going, I don't know, I almost want to see how you think you can do this.
What about the medium easy way?
Like, I'm almost curious.
A hard Z way? I don't know.
Alright. Smart-ass way. Could Volt give me an athletics check as he's about to be thrown into the, athletics or acrobatics, whatever is better for you, as you are about to be thrown also into the carriage.
I'm not good at resistance. I'm just messing.
Okay.
But alright, I will do a check just cause. You said, what two? Athletics or acrobatics?
Yep. Yeah, you crit fail.
Oh, really? That's a crit fail? Excellent. I
Yes.
wasn't gonna resist anyway. Please,
Yeah,
now, can you
no.
more-
You like move, but he effortlessly tosses you in.
Good grief.
He looks up to you through the what he views as smarmy flying fox, and gives you a glare as if you want to test his patience any further.
Mhm.
Right, I'll just kind of like flat there for a couple months and just say, "Well, I'm waiting on you to lead the way, sweetheart."
Carriage now. I am under strict orders.
Mhm.
Okay, is this like an open topped carriage, or like is it covered, or
It's it's one of the like my brain is picturing kind of like the stagecoach kind of style carriage, where it's like
right on top?
just take it for what it is. Just take it for what it is. Just take it for what it is.
I'd feel sorry, except with how many pranks and whatnot he's pulled on us over the course of this adventure. At this point, it's like, I'm going to take what small victories over him I can get.
Oh,
Yeah.
I completely agree.
So what is Lilith doing for this?
Probably going with them.
Okay, so I just want to know if the idea is you're going to be going with whether you go quietly or he chucks you in a carriage or something.
I probably got chucked in the carriage.
Okay, chucked in the carriage.
Yay, we ought to all be smartasses together.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be a party otherwise.
He kind of climbs onto the back of it. There's a little standing thing. He kind of leans back and just kind of waves. You know, maybe he waves for a little bit with just one finger towards the moon, but the carriage starts moving through the town at a brisk pace. Notably, one thing you notice as the moon mostly notices, we'll focus on him, then I'll jump to the people in the carriage. It's the people are notably parting ways, and on closer inspection, I forget. Is your character familiar with your family crest at all?
I mean, it's almost definitely got to be part of my bow, isn't it?
Yeah. So the
So
same symbol
I'd
on your
imagine so.
Yeah, the same symbol on your bow you realize is resplendent all over the carriage, and so it's like it doesn't take a genius to put two and two together on that and determine that that's probably a reason why people are giving the carriage a wide berth. Whether it's because they're a noble family here or for something else, you can't really discern at this point. Inside the carriage, it's just the three of you in there, and it's actually fairly cushy. And there's like extra pillows or something. Like he knew that people he was likely to have to throw people in there to get what he wanted, and he knew that if he damaged the wrong person, he would be getting
In trouble.
in trouble. Yes.
Oh, seems true.
But yeah, so
Justin back yet?
I assume that Justin would say something if he was back. Yeah, so
Maybe he was being better than I was about not interrupting.
Well, to be
I do
fair,
want to apologize. I totally did not mean to interrupt you. That was just horrible timing.
Razzle has come back with Chinese food.
okay,
Woo!
you're in a well padded interior of a carriage right now.
Okay, so don't ask where you got the Chinese food.
It's probably fairly safe for that to be a general thing. So, and meanwhile, I have to reveal a destination. Do-do-do-do. Alright, Control Tab. Shift Tab.
So we just went up and all the way over here just for him to drag us all the way back
No,
like that.
you guys
No?
are down. You're down here.
Down where?
Down by the college.
I thought you had
Oh.
said that he approached us as we were getting towards up here.
No, it was as you were leaving the gates of the college.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense. So that's...
Yeah, remember we went back to the college to basically work out that deal.
Well, yeah, but then we were going to the end, and I thought it was once we were closer to the end that he showed up. So,
No.
my bad.
Yeah, the inn
No
is
worries.
somewhere south of the town, actually.
So, 7 miles away. Got it.
And because you took the time to draw that out, I am not bothering to paste that. I'm just going to magically warp you. But basically, with the way that crowds give you a wide berth and this slightly better speed of a carriage versus walking, you make a fair amount of time. The sun is starting to look orange and heavy, and evening sky. It still takes a fair amount of time because
All right, if we're taking a little bit, I want to take a small cat nap in the back.
Wait, can you take other kinds of naps?
I know, that was the
Take a
joke.
drunk nap.
He would take a fox nap if he could, I'm sure.
But yes, so
Be right back. They didn't bring me soy sauce.
and Razzle tumbles out into the city streets for a moment.
Before hopping back in the car.
With soy sauce, yes. But he hasn't quite done that yet. As you approach, you notice that you are seeing fairly large ground lots kind of spreading out. You actually into this one, to give you an idea of scale, right here. That whole block that you are in on the map, that's one estate. There are multiple buildings within it, but it's all kind of got the same gate, everything. And the big thing you're heading towards is this grandiose manor. That's looming before you. I get a perception check from Moon?
Okay, I was gonna say he's about to sneak back inside because that's what it is right on the top. It probably not the best impression. Okay,
I am back.
So
And Razzle jumps just
perception.
before you go in. Razzle jumps back into the cart with soy sauce. Okay.
not bad.
Yeah, what you notice here is that you don't see a single kitsune. You see a lot of elves, but you don't see any kitsune.
So we went from a place where there was a lot of mixed company to, or at least a decent amount, to all elves.
Well, it's not 100% elves, but, this is supposed to be his family estate. Not seeing a single kitsune is odd.
Bizarre. That is weird.
You think you were adopted?
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So yes, but
Eh.
you quick flutter back into the carriage itself. You see that there is a. I'm just going to say this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Razzle has constructed a small pillow fort on the opposite side.
No, you are completely correct there.
In order to keep him out of trouble, have probably helped him with this a little bit.
Hey, Jane. The floor is made out of lava.
Ooh! How could you? We're in a car. Why would you make the floor lava?
So yeah, so as the carriage kind of passes into, pulls into a small drive in front of it. A lot of greenery here. The manor itself looks like it matches a lot of the architectural style of the town, and it looks fairly old. So this is likely, if this was something that became part of your families, it was most likely something they gained, not something they built themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's classic pony culture style. So whatever that is, like
Yep.
maybe more crystals than normal. I guess
It's more pastel colors.
Yeah, colors. Yeah, color is probably a thing. Compared to some of the buildings, because you did pass some very high, well-to-do family estates. Notably here, you've noticed the colors have actually been somewhat maintained here, versus where a lot of places where they're showing wear and fade, and have been just washed out with something more in keeping with the austere style of the Elven Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you pull up in front of the main manor, you see an elven man you see Elven Jeeves.
Elf Jeeves.
Walk out of.
Obviously, it's Javes or something like that.
This is really just the best way I can describe it. This is the most. This is a stereotypical Jeeves elves.
Excellent. Stereotypical Jeeves elf.
Yes. Okay. He kind of looks as he comes forward towards the carriage. The mercenary, who I don't think I actually ever gave a name to, or if I did, it's irrelevant at this point.
I think you did, but
Yeah. You hear.
okay.
You hear he jumps off the back of the carriage and walks up to them. You see they're talking in hushed tones. He gestures to the carriage, and you see him handed a small sack of coin and a rolled scroll, as in document.
Yeah, well, like a contract receipt sort of thing.
Maybe. You don't know.
I mean, I might know if Loth decides to pickpocket that paper as she goes out, but, whatever.
Cough, cough, cough.
I can't control her. She is her own being.
Anyways, he walks off to the side, and the coachman, you see from the window in there, he gestures to the coachman, who jumps down and opens up the door, presenting you lot.
Razzle's throwing a pillow at the first thing he sees.
Alright, make a ranged attack roll. Just use a dex-based attack. I'm gonna say you are...
It counts as a finesse weapon?
Throwing weapons, yeah. Well, I guess you could... you know what, you can just roll strength, and I'm gonna treat you as trained in pillow combat, because I think Razzle is trained.
Oh, dear. Yes! Yes! This is Moon's day. It really is.
You throw the pillow dead on. And
Huzzah!
in a move that honestly that kind of just everyone but Razzle just sees a blur and suddenly the pillow is heading back where it came. But Razzle, as a trained martial artist, you see him just grab it and kind of do like the Kung Fu Hustle thing where he kind of spins it back around and throws it back at you, conserving its momentum and adding a bit more to it. And chucks it right back at your face. Which it hits. Just knocking you out of the backside of the carriage. Destroying your fortress.
My fort! No, I was going to raise my family there. Winterfell too.
He's got like the anime stars in his eyes, like, where have you been?
Now,
someone who can.
Now, I pray that was not Moon Snow.
Well, I certainly hope not either. Or else I might have to end his family line.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not Moon?
That's right. I am Moon. I imagine we're all trying to phrase it as like we're telling the truth, but it almost sounds like we're trying to lie.
So which one was I?
I was picturing more like I am Spartacus.
I haven't seen it.
No, it's the same.
Spartacus.
Where a bunch of they're looking for Spartacus to kill him, and then a bunch of people say, "No, I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus." So they can't actually.
Have you seen Life of Brian? I'm Brian.
I mean, I'm sure all they would need is a minor perception check, and they would notice the bow on my back. with the crest. So, I mean,
yes, quite. Now, is there any other projectiles I should be aware of, or shall we continue to present you?
Well, I have nothing to throw except mud, so, you can go ahead.
Very well. He leads you forward into the house. You come into a fairly, whereas the outside seems to very much preserve the original kind of style of the town, the interior is more of much more different and aesthetic here. You notice a definite not Japan style of thing. I don't know what. Basically, Japan equivalent interior style.
Yeah, an East Asia style of interior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Fran Tokyo.
But yes.
Yes, New San Fran Tokyo.
But yes, he instructs you to he looks like he's about to say something about shoes, and then kind of realizes that doesn't necessarily apply to this group.
kind of don't have shoes in this party, unless you count the horseshoes.
Yeah, and so he pauses for a moment and then so just waves his hands and prestidigitates. Because of course a noble family in a fantasy world has a magic butler.
Well, yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna have? Like, I mean, I suppose maybe a cleric if, like, you have a bunch of kids that keep getting themselves hurt and stuff, you might have a cleric nanny, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have, say, maybe a paladin as captain of your guards, basically, your security forces.
It depends on your family, because, like, some nobles, you could not get away with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's... So yes, he rings a little. There's a little bell that he rings, and a young elven girl seems to be dressed in kind of like I'm having a very time describing it. It's basically servant's clothing, I guess is the best way to say it.
A French maid outfit.
That's the kind of stuff I was specifically avoiding.
Well, it's already been brought
Maid
up.
outfits are adorable.
Yeah, let's not go with the... what do you call it? Let's not go with the French maid. It is a it is a maid outfit, as in that's what a female servant would be wearing typically. But she comes in and does a deep bow towards towards I'm just calling him Jeeves. That's what his name is now. But yes, towards Jeeves.
Because it's tradition.
Yeah.
It's just spelled all fancy.
There's an apostrophe there. There shouldn't be, but there is.
Jeeves.
It's spelled with an H.
Anyways, and it says, take these guests to make sure and make sure that they are prepared for presenting to the matriarch. And she bows again and kind of gestures for you to follow them, follow her.
Razzle will follow.
Yes, and he
Sure,
actually,
why not?
Before that, he turns and says, Key will take good care of you.
By the way, I'm going to go ahead and whisper in Razzle's ear. All right, I'd like to have some free time, but this is, a very important place. Make sure you're on your best behavior, okay?
I'm always on my best behavior.
So the first place she takes you to is actually a bath, like a small a chamber with multiple. Okay, it's more like a kind of a spa bath, like a large bath kind of area with you see some other sides set up for actual cleaning.
Lilith and Jane.
Are you saying I smell? Because if so, that's true.
I was saying, Moon was so right at oh, okay.
she giggles.
Got a giggle out of her.
Oh no. This does not bode well.
Oh, you did not do anything funny. Don't encourage it.
No. Don't worry. I'm just a servant here. You don't have to worry about keeping up airs around me.
That's the problem.
Oh, thank goodness.
He'll never learn if you don't make him practice ever.
Exactly. We're trying to get him to be on his best behavior. So
Well,
when we do get to meet the rest of the family, he has some
Will have to
practice.
deal with the entirety of my life now.
Nope, dang it, we ruined him.
well, help make it. You're free to make use of our baths and everything. We also have some. We also have some more formal clothing if you are interested for the thing. Yeah, the matriarch does like seeing people brought to her well dressed.
Oh, I guess if you happen to have anything, sure, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Sure, my clothes are probably filled with alcohol anyway, so
Yeah, we're definitely going to need a pair for Razzle
into the
there.
water.
Make sure to get something, I don't know, loose fitting? I'm trying to figure out what would be the best style that Razzle would not have anything to poke or prod or mess up with.
All I need is to see an example of what would be appropriate, please.
You'll see what the rest of your group has when after the bath. So, she kind of looks you over and is like, I was told of your arrival, but I honestly wasn't expecting quadruped. Oh, that's racist. She kind of winces a little.
Everyone's a little bit racist. He just kind of gives a nod.
Really? I thought this was his ancestral home. Wouldn't his relatives also have been?
Well, okay.
Say, Moon's just gonna give you a look like has it not occurred to you how he and Lilith were born?
Well, I mean, one side of
Look,
his family.
I'm not going to question it. Some people were dogs before, and now they're foxes, and
and I almost got married to a Gemnol, so you know what? Life is weird.
yeah. There's now a cat with us.
What are you talking about? We always have had that. I've always been here.
I mean, the other cat.
What? It's like, there's always been 2 cats and 2 foxes, and 1 drunk.
Ron's going to look at the maid and go, like, the crazy symbol and, like, drinking signs, like they're the drunk ones.
I don't care.
But yeah, so he's like, what were you guys? I'm curious. Like, obviously from your gear, and she kind of looks over at Lilith's armor, which not often do you see someone wearing dragon hide leather. You seem to be. So you am I not incorrect in assuming that you guys are adventurers?
Well, yes, we are.
That's one way to call it.
I'm gonna say, yeah, Moonsnow nods and grins a little bit and goes, not to brag, but we skinned that ourselves.
Wait.
Tried to eat us.
You took down a dragon? Or was it just a large lizard? It's hard to tell.
No, we think it was a young dragon, because it was only... And he'll, gesture, how big it was, using the room. It was only about that big, so, I mean, it probably wasn't, a big, full-grown old dragon, but it was a dragon.
My spider sacrificed its life to fight that dragon.
Oh,
versus
right,
Tom.
it did. Like, you just see Moon brighten up just a little bit more at that. Like, oh, right, the monstrosity died because of that. Yeah, that was a great time.
And Lilith almost died.
Yup.
Yeah, but we saved her. And I got her some kick-ass armor, so, you know,
I
just
saved
another
her.
great day for Moon.
Yeah, Russell did.
Sure you did.
Like, you could probably just point to the symbol of the nightmare on her. So, yeah, that's... But, yes.
But, I mean...
But... So, what... you know, she's kind of grabbing stuff as you guys need it, as you do whatever you want to do with the baths. And as she kind of brings it, so it's like, so what do you think of our little town so far?
Big, dark, and gloomy, and your church sucks.
It's full of heresy.
Not a fan of the perfected philosophy, I see.
Nope.
Well, let's just say it's not within our belief system.
It's not in many people's belief system at this town.
Then why put up with it?
Well, unfortunately, it's in many of the nobles' belief systems. And even those that don't hold to its tenets at least pay it lip service to avoid problems of inquisitions and the like.
What inquisitors could there be of such pansies?
Well, they're not as... Yeah, you know, you didn't hear it from me, but maybe they're not necessarily... The Elven Empress believes in them? Empress. Yes, that's the title. No. The Elven Empress is a strong believer in it, and a lot of people don't want to tick her off. Though, to be honest, many of the nobles here haven't been in contact as much with the Empire as they would like. We are a bit on the edges here.
Alright. Interesting.
But yes, you know. I mean, did you at least get a good glimpse at the colleges as you came in? They are a sight to behold.
That was the building with the lots of books, right?
Yes, to be entirely a bit reductivist about it. Yes.
Then yeah, we just came from there.
Oh. Huh, how did you gain an audience? Like, I heard they are notoriously sticklers about who they let in and out.
We kind
Yeah,
of
we're
stopped at
keeping them in the,
If you're looking for the name of the the info broker...
No, I was stopping because I didn't know what Razzle said. I was waiting for you to decide who was actually speaking.
let's go with Moon.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. That would be because we're keeping the college and industry from fighting each other over some stuff that's important to both of them, but we're already working out a solution to that, so that's...
Like,
we're
as you say that, her face kind of goes from kind of plasticating smiles to just like a flat, like, shock, what? For a moment, and before she regains her composure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard.
It's Well, it's quite a feat because the colleges and industry don't really see eye to eye. It's like they both care about information, but for radically different reasons.
I mean, from your understanding, what do you think of the two of them?
I honestly, they're a bit out of my range here. But it's like colleges are. I mean, they're definitely a bastion of like civilization and everything, because higher learning and all that fun stuff. But I know that that industry is also like a lot of the noble houses swear by their ability to provide exactly what they need before they even know they need it.
Yeah, I prefer the School of Hard Knocks.
I thought I'm sorry. I thought you looked like you preferred the School of Hard Schnapps.
That
Ah,
too.
darn, you got there first.
Moon barely refrains from sighing out loud as he continues to
No. You know, I like you already. You seem like a cool person.
I try my best to serve. Also, just out of curiosity, what have you thought about the we all try to work together here on the estate.
Honestly, I'm just curious, like, kind of what they would need us for in the first place. But, hey,
Well,
we're happy to help.
Well, to be fair, they more need Moon Snow here than any of you, the rest of you. No offense. You're basically his
None
entourage. You're his entourage.
I wouldn't need me either.
Excuse me.
Your excuse.
I am not his entourage.
I meant no offense.
Yeah. Moon rolls
Yeah,
his
I
eyes and
suspect
just
my
goes,
entourage.
that's just how nobles think. Don't like
Yeah, don't take offense to it. That makes it simple for them to understand.
But yes. Well, oh man, any questions too? I'll try to answer best I can, but I only know so much about what's going on.
Do you happen to have any
at least
scrumble?
that is a good question.
Not in the main things, but anything like that would be probably in the matriarch's private collection.
Okay. Side quest for Razzle.
Steal the boots.
What do you mean for Wrestle? For Moon. If you remember, Moon actually kept up shot for shot with Scrumble, so he's like, that's the one alcohol that was like actually really good. But no, Moon wants to know, like, does what they need him for have to do with why there are so many elves in the compound, or?
Well, I mean, first off, you are in the noble sections of the city, and if the city is being run by the Elven Empire, being held by the Elven Empire, then I mean, it must follow that all the nobles are elves, right?
So, your family's a bunch of hoity-toity elves. Congratulations, Moon.
Thanks.
As long as our presence is going to cause no sort of issues.
All right, I'm giving everyone a perception check on this.
All right, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perception.
Why did your cat roll a nat 20?
Well, no.
The
If you
cat
look,
knows.
it's still Moon's page.
Okay.
It's just because I had written the thing above and hadn't changed my tab.
Okay.
I can roll my cat if you want me to, but no, that was Moon Snow's roll.
She was pretty... Like, if it was actually the case, she would not have brought such abrupt attention to it, so there's something else going on. Like, she was...
Sorry, what?
She was drawing to the attention that, well, of course it's like someone saying, like, well, of course no one would break in and steal everything in sight in this exact chamber. That's the way she said that. It's like, it's overly specific denial. And
And
for
Razzle right now is just blowing bubbles.
And Moon, for your nat 20, you realize that that was intentional. That was a hint, not just a slip up. Razzle, you're pretty sure there's something in the water in this town that's turning people into elves.
All right, no one drink the water. It's turning them to elves.
You're just saying that because you want us to get drunk with you.
I mean, it depends on how watered down their alcohol is.
I was saying, Moon is
as long
just
as it's-
thinking. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Moon is just thinking, like, water of reincarnate. Like, how would that even. Even if that were possible, the amount of money that would. How. like, he keeps saying, like, roadblock after roadblock. I'm like, but wait. There's more!
You're trying to travel a road that has been paved by a drunk. Just think about that.
Oh, so paper by Razzle. Got it.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant.
Let's make sure he never gets in a paving machine. Bulldozer. So, in character, I'm like, well, as long as there's not going to be any issues with us being four-legged.
I have no issue, but I can't say to other people in this town. Though, you know, much like many things in the world, people, it varies from person to person.
Yeah, I'm sure Moon's family is gonna be fine. I mean, it's... Oh, never mind, it's Moon's family.
Oh,
Well, if you are done here, your formal wear has arrived.
Alright. Backflip out of the back.
excellent. Thank you.
And you guys are basically seeing, like, a quadrupedal version of a kimono, I guess is the best way to describe this.
Oh, I love it.
You know, and masculine ones for Razzle.
Just for Razzle, okay.
Well, yeah, because Moon specifically requested that just to see what the style was.
Okay. Hey, nice.
I'm going to at
Razzle
least.
dapper now, huh?
I will at least presume that my glamored armor can
Yeah.
make itself look like that. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
And she, Key looks over you and like, oh, what a fancy little... Is that a trick of your own, or is that...
Something I picked up. Can't be going places without looking your best. Ugh. You never know who you might run into. Well, even in a couple of mines and dungeons we had to delve, we came across some important dwarves, and, well, they're dwarves, but still, first impressions are rather important.
Oh, of course, of course. Trust me.
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna meet someone of high degree like myself.
She giggles again.
I think your wife was higher degree than you are, Razzle.
Ooh!
Okay, Moonstone will actually laugh at that. Yeah, you just got burned. Sort of way.
I thought I was the one who spits hot fire.
After everyone collects themselves from that, so don't worry. I understand the importance of first impressions. That's why the matriarch has me try to make everyone make their best first impressions.
So Razzle, no. Try to keep your mouth quiet unless they refer to you directly. No offense.
All right.
Well, if you once you are all dressed, I will summon back Jeeves, and he will take you to meet the matriarch. So, after everyone is changed, she flicks a little bell, and shortly after, Jeeves appears in the towards the end of the bath house, I guess. The interior bathhouse. He kind of looking over you, both acknowledging and yet somehow being disapproving of.
Hey, he's just a help. We don't need to impress him.
So,
Ouch.
but in the way that like a butler typically does is you're never good enough for a butler.
I was gonna say, because it's a butler's job to find problems with things. If there's not a problem with something, he's not looking hard enough, so he has to look harder.
Oh, I get okay. If it's in that logic, that makes sense.
Yeah. This way, he says, gesturing for you to follow.
That's why.
Is there going to be sake here?
Only to those who behave. A wielder of the mighty pillow.
You're just like my teacher. Nah.
That's going to get scribed on your tombstone now.
I was just say, if you want any sake later, you can't do anything that makes me want to sock you now.
Ah!
Also, at the teacher comment, your amulet grows a little warm. It's just to remind you who that could potentially apply to. So,
all right, you're like.
Now I really want to play a character who just randomly throws pillows for unarmed rage damage.
Unarmed rage damage?
I'm sorry, non-lethal rage.
Now I'm just picturing a giant totem barbarian who wields an oversized pillow as their weapon, and it is ridiculous.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
But yes, this game's trying to be a little more serious than that.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Just a scotch.
I was like, it's a little too late when you added Razzle to it.
Yeah. No. I know. I want there to be serious moments, not the game to be all serious. So,
this is a serious world, but can still have a little bit of fun simply because of the fact is, well, we have Razzle in it.
So yes, you are led into a large chamber where you see various other well-dressed elves kind of lining the line leading up to a slightly raised dais. All of them are kind of in that kneeling sitting position kind of thing.
Yep.
And the top of there's a small staircase leading to the raised platform. And sitting on there, you see a very old-looking elven woman, kind of just looking down at you with the most judgy McJudge eyes.
Razzle in a show of determined.
By the way, I imagine in order to make sure he stays on his best behavior, I'm standing like directly next to Razzle.
Yeah. Her white hair. You don't know how much white hair she has, but it is tied up in a very tight bun. Yes, and she is wearing a deep purple kimono.
Can I do a perception check to tell if the white, or you could just tell me, is the white hair from age or just from style?
It is, with how wrinkled and everything that she is. It looks like from age.
All right, just making sure.
Even if it were dyed white somehow, it's at least an earned white.
Yeah. Actually, because of that, though, Volt, you can give me a society check, please.
Ooh. What?
Society. It is a skill. It's basically your knowledge of culture and all that kind of stuff.
Oh God, that's this is gonna go horrible.
Can I roll lore nobility?
That was surprisingly decent.
No, this is
that was pretty good.
Yeah, no, this is specifically about elves.
Okay.
You know that elves, if the elves are very long-lived, this seems very odd to see one that looks so visibly old. So either she is extremely old, or there's something else going on.
Something else going on.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Razzle, in a surprising amount of decorum, is actually going to walk up to her and bow his head.
So Moon, where are you? So do you walk past Moon to do this?
Yes.
Her eyes narrow.
That's him. He's just kind of like staring, like, did he just like? Is this really like? Oh, of course it is. It's like,
hey, he's trying to be polite. This is different for him. So
Moon is visibly doing his best not to sigh or face palm or like just
react to this faux pas. I think that's a minor faux pas compared to what he would normally do.
But he's not supposed to have paws. He has hooves.
He has front paws.
Okay,
Anyway,
sure.
Anyways,
many honors to you.
She glances to his side, and in a swift motion, Jeeves has just kind of decided to pull Razzle to the back of the group.
Okay.
So you...
I love how...
Sorry. Go ahead.
I love how Volt's main advice was don't speak unless spoken to, and he just immediately breaks it.
I thought he didn't say anything. He just went forward.
We told you
technically he followed my advice. It's just
he was about to use
one thing.
He was just about to start speaking and trying to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you are the one who was chosen by Flechette. I am not impressed.
Greetings, Aldo. No, I've got better control in that. I'm not gonna say it. Lilith can tell he wants to say it so badly, though.
Yep.
Resisting urge to be awful.
Mhm.
Resist narcometer.
That's what he wants to say so badly. Because clearly, being the matriarch, the first thing she should do is introduce herself. So she is saying, I am not impressed. like she could probably see on his face, like, okay, I'm like 99% sure that's not her name, but boy am I tempted. Like, bitch, you called me here. If you want me gone, I will go and take Flechette with me.
So, okay, so what do you say So what do you actually say?
You're taking a moment to think this in your head of basically like, if I wasn't trying to be polite, I would be totally giving her a piece of my mind.
I will still be snarky because it is the Volponi way. He will simply reply, the imperfection is yours.
Ooh.
Roll
He's
diplomacy
making a
on that.
subtle... Okay, I phrased it that way because he's making a subtle joke about the Temple of Perfected philosophy. Just as a note here.
Okay. You
I like it. I like it. That's...
You definitely need to roll diplomacy on that one. Okay. She kind of looks over you more seriously and like, I would hold your tongue. You are in the presence of the matriarch of the Arihambra family. I will not coach with disrespect.
Well, forgive me. I had been hoping to perhaps know your name or know why you summoned us before you started judging us without hearing anything of what I have accomplished.
What I care about, you probably know none of. Tell me, what do you know of the nature of that bow you carry?
I know that she picked me and she is far more valuable and of quality beyond that which can be crafted, among other things. Like I imagine like Razzle's like mumbling that in the background, like too quiet for other people to hear.
Yeah, basically.
Shoots arrows.
Jeeves just kind of shoots you a look that both says, yes, but not now.
You are
I'm also
technically
going to be,
correct.
as I
but
said,
there's
I was keeping
more.
an eye on him to basically serve as our
Mute button.
leeway, and I'm also going to be like, I'm going to give his, put my paw gently over his and gives it a gentle little, get my talons out for a second and kind of make a point.
Razzle, right? Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Razzle.
Yeah. Just making sure.
Okay. As I said, I've learned we kind of had to babysit Razzle in these situations.
You noticed that true, but her true secrets have not yet been revealed to you. You say you are being judged in this chamber, but I tell you, since Flechette has awakened, you have been judged every moment.
He just kind of like raises an eyebrow and like is like silently saying, "Yeah, that's why I'm saying you have no right to judge me. You don't know what she's seen me do to call me worthy, and not one of you people." I mean, okay, not that last part, but
Yes.
just like yeah, she's already judged me and found me worthy. Who are you to find me lacking?
You think you have been fully chosen. You are but a candidate, one who has potential, perhaps, but not one who is such a thing. For you see, Felichette is the one who chooses the next leader of our clan, and her reawakening is all to do with the late lord of the clan passing away in the past few months. But she is not the only one who will test you. Even now you are being tested. And she pauses for a moment, waiting for a response.
At this point, I'm waiting to find out who or what is judging me or whatnot, because it's not an impatience, but it's like, okay, clearly you're going to say something to everything that I respond to, so I'm just going to wait until you're done so you can only,
What?
talk down to me once.
Like 9:30-ish?
Can you double check if the washer's done? Will you put my load in the dryer?
Okay.
I totally forgot scrubs, and I went to go get some, and I'm out.
Okay.
Thank you.
You are not. So you see, you have not been aware of the test. You say you ask for my true name, and I tell you, you should know it. Here is your first trial. What is the name of the matriarch?
Non-pressed.
Don't tempt me.
Razzle, you notice like Key is kind of looking, glancing out from the back door, kind of just seeing what's going on, but not fully in the room.
Razzle's going to turn his head to look at what he's looking at.
No, she's just outside the room, just looking in, like watching the proceedings.
Okay.
Basically, she's peeking in the little keyhole, basically.
Well, it's an open doorway, so she's kind of leaning around. She's kind of doing it.
But she's not specifically staring at anything. You just notice she's there.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask this above board. Is this something that I should actually know, or?
Well, for one, it's not your family clan name. I'm going to give you that one.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but it's like, would this be considered a lore nobility? Because, like, if I'm supposed to actually know, I have no clue.
Yeah, no, like, I'm not asking, this is not something like, depending on in-game information here. Like, in-game... Just remember, you are... I am going to give you this one thing, because you did nat 20 that one roll earlier. You're dealing with a bunch of kitsune.
Wait, I thought this wasn't our mask game.
The species, not the...
I know, I'm just making a joke.
I mean... Sorry to be dumb, but, like, that doesn't help at all. Like, am I trying to think of...
Let me look at a character sheet here so I can know what to...
Razzle's going to sneak over to the door if no one's paying attention to him.
Go ahead.
No, I definitely am paying attention to you. I literally prevented you but 10 seconds ago from blurting things out.
Well, yeah, but that's a 26. Like,
You're distracted in the
it's
tension
like-
of the moment. Because I know your
It's like
your
you-
perception DC is not that high.
Okay.
It's like you turned away for half a second, and then you turn back and you're like, "Wait it, shit!"
Damn it, Razzle!
So what is Razzle doing?
Well, you mentioned the maid was there, the servant was there, right?
Yep.
So he's gonna ask her, "Hey, what's the deal with this test thing?"
I'm not sure. This is an unorthodox approach, I will admit, but I think the matriarch wants to see if your friend can actually is clever enough to actually lead this family.
Sir.
Ah, okay, we're doomed.
Well, no, I like above board. I'll admit this is completely not what I was expecting for today.
What were you expecting to be betrothed or something?
I don't know, but I wasn't expected to be asked, "Hey, what is the matriarch's name?" When like none of my family have come up before.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's the thing. You don't even know what
Is-
you. There would be no reasonable way for you to know in character from past experiences before this session.
So it's gotta be a loophole.
I was gonna say, like, can I try something like occultism or charisma to at least make a decent guess, even if it's not correct?
You tried the name of the place that we're at?
It wouldn't be that. Because she
Not
just
with that attitude.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a lore nobility roll here. This is going to be more of just because this is specifically because the.
I'm using my hero point for that.
Yeah.
What the
Deja vu. Has everyone else want to
Okay.
donate their hero points to Moon's not fail this roll fund? Everyone gets one per
Sure.
session.
I will say Razzle through a note or something.
Well, wait, didn't I have 3 last session? I only used 2?
I don't know if you had 3 or not, but I think you had
Yeah,
2.
because I had earned 2.
Okay. Sure, go ahead, roll one more time.
One more time now. 3rd time's the charm, right?
There we go.
Good grief.
Stop talking.
That's hilarious.
So there's two ways to you realize there's basically 2 possibilities they're looking for in this situation. One is that there's a deception in place that you need to see through. Or 2, perhaps a sincere contrition of not knowing maybe more accept maybe what they're looking for.
I was going to ask if there is insight, but then I noticed there was no insight. I'm like,
Perception.
well, I don't know what to ask. Oh. See, I'm not used to perception.
Yeah, basically perception covers a lot of the things I just had wisdom roll for.
Well, I suppose it can't hurt to try, because if he can't, then yeah, he'll go for the apology approach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, screw me, I guess.
Oh.
Does anyone want to donate a hero point?
I'm willing to see him fail at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much we can help here.
What about you, hun?
Well,
Hi.
Do you want to donate your hero point to him?
Yeah.
Okay, you get 1 reroll.
for what it's worth,
Uh,
I will donate mine to her next session.
okay.
No. Okay, so you're kind of looking around the room, trying to get a feel on her, like looking at her, but you notice it's combined with your previous learnability kind of check here. I'm giving you this thing. There's a lot of things wrong with how the matriarch is positioned in this room.
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
There's a lot of small details that don't seem to be right based on what you've been taught. Something.
Yeah. I mean,
Something there is amiss. So.
I kind of wish I had actually verbally said that, because, like, this entire scenario felt off. I just couldn't quite pinpoint. Okay. I mean, okay, this is either going to be like an amazing Hail Mary or everyone's going to laugh at me.
Don't worry, already one of those things is happening.
No, both of those things have already happened. I'm going to look at the maid.
Okay.
And then, had she given us her name earlier?
No, but I believe Jeeves had introduced her as Key.
Key?
Yeah, Key. I remember that because I was thinking monkey.
No,
I was thinking Key as in East. I was thinking Key as in, just energy key.
Yeah. Or rather, or short for Kiki.
But, I'm torn for who I want to face, but he's just gonna give a roguish grin and then go Key.
And there's a lot of poofs as the illusions and everything disappear. And the Key gives a small bow and raises in with a familiar kind of grin you've seen before on another kitsune that you travel with.
Mhm.
Technically, it's Kiyomi, but Key for short. You have more potential than I thought.
I knew I liked you.
And actually, I think that's where we're going to actually end it for this week, because I wanted to run a little shorter here. But I think that's a good stopping point. Also, I have no idea what's going to happen next.
Well, I mean, to be like, the only reason why I got that is I had that brief moment of kitsune are supposed to be curious. Why would she not be one of the first people to meet us and want to know,
Oh yeah, no, and I've actually been
why is this maid asking us so many
Yep.
Because usually they're quiet.
It's also someone who liked Razzle, so it's this is suspicious.
Yeah, that too.
It's a trick.
But yes, and she remember early on she said, "Trust me, I know how important first impressions are."
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we just got pad made.
Yep, no, you totally got pad made.
Yes. Excellent.
But yeah, no. What I gave you were the two possible ways you could get out of this with a good response from your family, where either accepting that, hey, I don't know, and I'm not going to make pretenses about that, or you could figure out the deception. So yeah.
Yeah, I figured it would
succeeded.
at least be. I figured with my response is either going to be like a, "Yep, this is it," or if it was like very clearly a, "Yeah, I'm throwing something out there because, well, you want me to throw something out there."
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I apologize, but
Once
I
I
can
heard
try.
the maid was looking in, I was like, okay, she's important, so I will head up to her.
Yeah, no, what I was thinking, I realized what may have been the false thing is I thought from it there that you were going to think that she was your, the romantic rival there, which was not the intent.
No. I mean, no offense, but that never entered my mind.
Yep.
Aw, but the forbidden romance between a maid and her lord.
Well, to be fair,
That
though,
wouldn't be.
that's not the
Yes, my
story.
lord.
That's not the story angle we're going here. But anyways, thank you for this post-game wrap-up. To those watching us in the past, present, and future, I bid you all